Good morning friends. Welcome to Parnika's Tutorials YouTube channel. In this video, I want to discuss about quicksort. Quicksort will work with a principle called divide and conquer mechanism. What is divide and conquer mechanism? You will take the given input array and then you will divide into sub arrays, and then each sub array you will sort them, and all the sorted sub arrays you will conquer them. So finally you will get an output where all the elements are placed in either in the increasing order or decreasing order. Now the quicksort algorithm varies based on which element you are selected as a pivot element. You can select the first element of an array as a pivot element, or you can select the last element of an array as a pivot element, or you can select the middle element of an array as a pivot element, or you can select any random value as a pivot element. Okay, so in this video I want to discuss the pivot element as the first element. So if I take the first element as a pivot element, then how we can perform the quicksort with this example I will discuss. So I request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. Now you can ask me, sir, what is the role of the pivot element? Now you have to place the pivot element in such a position all the elements towards the left hand side of the pivot should be less than the pivot element, and all the elements which are there in the right hand side of the pivot should be greater than the pivot element. Suppose let's take that I am selecting the 56 as a pivot element. So once I perform the quicksort in the first pass, all the elements should be there in the left hand side which are less than 56, and all the elements which are greater than 56 should be there in the right hand side of the 56. Then I will take this sub array, and from this sub array again I will select the first element as a pivot element. Then again I will perform the quicksort on this one, and I will place the pivot element in such a position that all the elements less than the pivot should be there in the left hand side, and all the elements which are greater than pivot element should be there in the right hand side. Again I will perform the quicksort on this sub array. So like that we will perform the quicksort using the divide and conquer mechanism. So how it will be performed we will discuss now. So we have selected the 56 as a pivot element. Okay, and we will take two variables called I and j. Now I value I will initialize to 0 because all the elements are stored in an array. Array values the array's index value will start from 0 and it will go up to size -1. So I value I will initialize to 0 and j value I will initialize to size -1. Okay, and the I value I need to increment it and j value I need to decrement it. Now we will discuss when we will increment the I value, when we will decrement the j value. Now if a of I value, if it is less than or equal to pivot element, then you need to increment the I value. Okay, are you able to understand? If a of I is, if a of j is greater than pivot element, then you need to decrement the j value. Are you able to understand? Let me repeat again. The I is pointing to the value 56. If 56 is less than or equal to pivot element, then you will increment the I value. Similarly, if whatever the value is there in the jth location, if it is greater than pivot element, then you will decrement the j value. So first we will do that procedure. Now if you look at it, a of I, which is nothing but 56. 56 is less than or equal to 56. So then I will increment the I value. Are you able to understand? Now I is pointing to the value called 28. Now 28 is less than 56. So I will increment the I value. Now if you look at it, we got the next value as 95. 95 is greater than 56. So what I can say? This condition is not satisfied. If this condition is not satisfied, I will not increment the I value. Now we will come to the j. A of j is 20. 20 is greater than 56. No, it is not greater than 56. So I will not decrement the j value. Now I is placed here and j is placed here. Now you need to look at what is the I value. Currently the I value is 2 because, are you able to understand? A of I is 95 but I value is 2 and j value is what? Size minus 1. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So j value is still 8 only. So I is less than j. If I value is less than j, then what you will do is that you will swap the element which is there in the A of I. So you need to perform swap of A of I comma A of j. That you please remember it. Okay, you need to remember these 3 points. Okay, if I, after performing this increment of I and decrementing of the j, and if I value is less than j, then you need to swap A of I and A of j. So let me swap them. Okay, so 95 and 20 I need to swap. If I swap them, I will get the array as 56, 28, 20, 18, 78, 33, 45, 57 and then 95. But still I value is 2 only and j value is 8 only. Are you able to understand? The A of I and A of j only changed but I value and j value has not changed. Now again we will perform the same process. A of I we need to check. What is the A of I value? Is 20. 20 is less than or equal to 56. So the condition is satisfied. If this condition is satisfied, what should I do? I need to increment the I value. So I have incremented. Now again look at it. What is the A of I value is 18. 18 is less than or equal to 56. So again the condition is satisfied. I need to increment the I value. So now I is pointing here. Now what is the A of I value? 78. 78 is greater than 56. So this condition is not satisfied. So I will not increment the I value. Is it clear? Now we will look at the A of j. A of j is greater than pivot element. See what is the value is there in the A of j is 95 is greater than pivot element which is 56. So this condition is satisfied. A of j is greater than pivot element, then you need to decrement the j value. So I am decrementing the j value, it will be pointing here. Now in the next case, A of j is 57. 57 is again greater than 56. So you need to decrement the j value. Is it clear? Now what is the A of j value? Which is 45, which is less than pivot element. So this condition is not satisfied. If this condition is not satisfied, you will not decrement the j value. Okay. So now A of I is 78 and A of j is 45. It is okay. Now look at the I value and j value. I is here and j is here. So still I is less than j. If I is less than j, what you need to do? You need to swap the A of I and A of j. If I swap the 78 and 45 positions, then what I will get? 56, 28, 20, 18, 45, 33, 78, 57, 95. Is it clear? Just I swapped the 78 and 45. Now what is the i's position? I is pointing here and j is pointing here only. Are you able to understand? The values of I is not changed. The value of A of I is changed and the value of A of j has changed. Is it clear? Now again we will perform the same process. A of I value. A of I value is 45 is less than or equal to 56 because the pivot element is 56. So again the condition is satisfied. So I need to increment the I value. Now again A of I is 33. 33 is less than or equal to pivot element which is 56. So again I need to increment the I value. Now I is pointing here. Now what is the A of I value? Which is 78. 78 is greater than 56. So I will not increment the I value. Is it clear? Now we will look at the A of j. A of j is 78, which is greater than 56. So this condition is true. If this condition is true, what should I do? I need to decrement the j value. If I decrement the j value, it will be pointing here. Now again look at what is the A of j, which is 33. 33 is less than 56. So this condition is not satisfied. If this condition is not satisfied, I will not decrement the j value. Okay, now you look at it. J is less than I now. Am I right or wrong? J is less than I. Is it clear? If j is less than I, but when it comes to here, I is less than j, we have swapped the A of I and A of j. But here, if j is less than I need to swap A of j, comma, pivot element. Is it clear? Are you able to understand it or not? So, I need to swap 33 and 56. Because pivot element is 56 and A of j is 33. Okay. Are you able to understand? If j is less than I, then you need to swap A of j, comma, pivot. Okay. Is it clear? So if I swap them, I will get 33 here, 28, 20, 18, 45, 56, okay, 78, 57, 95. So one pass of the quicksort is completed and you can check it. What is the pivot element? Which is 56. Now look at all the elements which are there in the left hand side. They all are less than the 56, and you look at what are the elements are there in the right hand side. All these elements are greater than the pivot element. Now what I will do is that now I can divide this one into two sub-arrays, because I can say that this is in the proper position and these two I need to take it as a sub-arrays. Again on these sub-arrays I need to perform the quicksort. Now let me take the 33, 28, 20, 18, 45 as a one sub-array and let me perform the quicksort on it. Okay. Are you able to understand it or not? So now let me take 33 here, 28, 20, 18, 45. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? Let me erase this one. Okay. Now what is the pivot element now? 33 is the pivot element. So now in this scenario, pivot is 33. Okay. And I value is pointing here and j is pointing here. Is it clear? Now when should I increment the I value? If A of I is less than or equal to pivot, then I need to increment. 33 is equal to 33. So the condition is satisfied. Now I will increment the I value. Now 28 is less than or equal to 33. So again I will increment the I value. 20 is less than or equal to 33. Again I will increment the I value. Okay. Now 18 is less than or equal to 33. Am I right? So again I will increment the I value. Now 45 is greater than 33. So I will stop incrementing the I value. Now what I need to do? Now I need to check it what is the value is there in the A of j. A of j is consists of 45, which is greater than 33. Am I right or wrong? So if that is condition is satisfied, I need to decrement the j value. Now what is the value is there in the A of j is 18. 18 is less than 33. So this condition is not satisfied. I will not decrement the j value. Am I right? Now j is pointing here. I is pointing here. Now you look at what is the j value and I value. J is less than I. If j value is less than I, then what you need to do? You need to swap A of j comma pivot. Is it clear? So what is the A of j? 18 and pivot is 33. Those two you need to swap. So you will get 18 here and you will get 28, 20, 33 and 45. Now if you look at it, the elements which are there in the left hand side of the pivot are less than that one, and the elements which are there in the right hand side is greater than 33. So again we got two sub arrays. This is one sub array and this is another sub array. Now this sub array already only one element is there, then we can say that this is already in the sorting order. Now let me take this sub array 18, 28, 20. Now I will select 18 as the pivot element. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? Okay, recursively we need to perform the quicksort. Okay, now I is here and j is here. Okay, now 18 is less than or equal to 18. The condition is satisfied because 18 is equal to 18. So I value I need to increment. Okay, 28 is greater than 18. So the condition is not satisfied. I will stop incrementing the I value. Now look at the j is here. Now 20 is greater than 18. Am I right? So if A of j is greater than pivot, then I need to decrement the j value. Now 20 is greater than 18, so I need to decrement the j value. Now 28 is greater than 18, so further I will divide the j value. Now 18 is not greater than 18, so I will stop incrementing the j value. Sorry, decrementing the j value. So now look at where is the I and j. I is here and j is here. Now look at what is the condition. Now j is less than I. If j is less than I, what you need to do? You need to swap A of j and pivot element. Please note down this point. These points are very important. If I is less than j, then you need to swap A of I and A of j. Now what is A of j? 18. Pivot element is also 18. So if you swap them, you will get again 18, 28 and 20. That is correct only because this is the pivot element. You look at what are the elements are there in the right hand side. All the elements are there in the greater than this pivot element because there is no element which is less than 18. So that's why you did not get any elements in the left hand side. So you got 18, 28 and 20. Now this is in the proper position. Now you need to take these two elements 28 and 20. Again you need to perform the quicksort. So let me write here. From here I got 18 and I got 33. I got the 45. Now I need to arrange 28 and 20. Now take that sub array 28 and 20. Now what is the pivot element? Pivot element is 28. Is it clear? I value I will keep here and j is pointing here. Now 28 is less than or equal to 28. The condition is satisfied. So you will increment the I value. Now 20 is less than 28. Again the condition is satisfied. Now I is pointing here because I value you need to increment. There is no value here. So we will stop comparing it. Okay. Now you need to look at the j value. Now what is A of j? A of j is 20, which is less than pivot element. So the condition is not satisfied. If A of j is greater than pivot element, then only you will decrement the j value. Now I is pointing here and j is pointing here. Now if it is so, what you should do? J is less than I, then you need to swap the pivot element and A of j. If you do it, you will get 20 and 28 because pivot element is 28 and A of j is 20. So that too if you swap, you will get 20 and 28. That you need to place it here. Okay, so you got all the elements in the sorting order. So those values you need to take here 18, 20, 28, 33, 45. That is what the conquer mechanism because you are divided and further adding them. Now you take the sub array this one because all the elements which are there in the left hand side, we have performed the sorting using the quicksort. Now let me take this element such as 78, 57, 95. Now what is the pivot element? 78 is the pivot element. Now I is pointing here and j is pointing here. Now a of I is equal to pivot, so I need to increment the I value. Okay, now 57 is less than 78. Now still I will increment the I value. Now 95 is greater than 78, so I will not increment the I value. Now you need to look at the j. A of j is 95 is greater than 78, so I need to decrement the j value. Is it clear? Are you able to understand? Now 57 is less than 78, so the condition is not satisfied, so you will not decrement the j value. Now look at the I and j. J is less than I, then you need to do what? Swapping of a of j and the pivot element. If you do it, you will get 57, 78, 95. Now you look at the element which is there in the left hand side is less than the 78, and the element which is there in the right hand side is greater than 78. Now this subarray consists of only one element, and this subarray consists of only one element. Then if you do the combine, then you will get 57, 78 and 95. Is it clear? So this is your final output of the quicksort. So if you look at it, all the elements are there in the increasing order. So I hope you have understood how I selected the pivot element as the first element, and then how I perform the quicksort by using the technique called divide and conquer technique. If you still have any doubts related to the quicksort, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.